So this section that you are listening to or watching is a section of our success stories, and there's a smile on my face, particularly because, you know, um, in this time I've done a lot of retrospection, introspection, and I'm so grateful for the work that has been done in the last 15 years. We do not have time to speak about everything that our testimonies and our success stories in the last 15 years. So I will just handpick but a few. I want to also state that the uncanny beauty of our work is that Sierra Leoneans make this project a reality. Friends of Sierra Leone, a community. We are intentional in um, focusing our projects with, community involvement. We have a lot of community participation through, the Color Purple Sundays we do, specifically in churches. Majority of our partnerships come through the of ministry partners, from churches that we have, a large congregation of Sierra Leoneans who attend and who know what happened in Sierra Leone. We do say that we have to be the change that we want to see. One of the things that I say, for us to be change makers, you have to, put your hands, you have to put your funds, you have to put your withdraw from your pockets and put where your mouth is. And so many times, we talk about the malaise in Sierra Leone, the challenges that we have in Sierra Leone. But I always say that I can only speak if I am part of the change. So when I speak, it is with purpose, with clarity, knowing that I am making a difference. And we do have some Sierra Leoneans. I wish we had more, to be honest. We do not receive any international funding. All of our projects are run through digital campaigns that we do, that a community comes on board twice a year, i.e. the Color Purple and the Day of the African Child, and people come together and contribute. Like I said, the Color Purple Sundays. So, especially in this time where we have a lot of financial challenges, with the high inflation, or inflation of high cost of living and all of that. It's becoming very challenging for NGOs to receive grants for international projects, i.e., projects that are done in Africa. So I believe that our modus, or our way of operation hasn't changed. Would I say we're futuristic? Yes, because even our meetings for over 10 years now have been done online. Most of our projects has been done digital. So when COVID came, even though we were impacted because we couldn't do our missions through the churches, but we were able to come to the community on Facebook specifically, speak to people of the work that we do, and all our projects, i.e. the medical missions that we do, the university scholarships that we do, providing scholarships to war orphans and war amputees, the educational sponsorship project that we do, where we provide children with uniform and school materials, school bags, everything a child needs at the beginning of the academic year. The project that we do in terms of providing crutches, clothing, intermittently, the national food project that we do, food in crisis project that we do, the school that we have that provides supplementary education to children of war amputees in the Western area the Strong Nation International House of Prayer that we have in Sierra Leone, all of that is being funded by the community. And I just want to say thank you so much. So, as we're sharing this success story, it is your success too, because you see on social media where your funds go. But I want to use this opportunity once again to thank you so much, so much, because we can celebrate the 15th anniversary of our charity because you have believed in us and you have been part of the change. And so we've talked about the university scholarship. It's one of the projects that we've done. The medical project that we've done plethora of medical missions. Apart from last year ending, but even in January we did. So I would say we started the medical missions in 2013, doing the medical missions where we have doctors. My mom's a doctor. In fact, she came up with the idea when we went to do one of our outreach projects, and unbeknown to me, she took medicines which she donated and treated people, checked their blood pressure, treated the war survivors. And I was like, yeah, that's a project that we need to follow up. And so we had doctors who have traveled with us, from the States and gone with us to Sierra Leone on medical missions. We've provided free treatment, free medical. We've done during COVID, we traveled even when there was restrictions. We traveled to Sierra Leone and we executed the first dental health mission since the war ended. That was the first time amputees were able to be treated by dentists that came from the Netherlands. They partnered with us and were able to do extractions, gentle hygiene and other other dental work. We've had a doctor who has traveled with us from Florida, who made history also in Sierra Leone, treating 200 war survivors, 200 plus war survivors in different parts of Sierra Leone, doing spinal adjustment. He's a physiotherapist and a chiropractor, and he was able to go to Sierra Leone with us in one of our missions, I believe in 2019. Every year we've shipped thousands of pounds of medical free medications which we air freight to Sierra Leone and treat the amputees free of charge. Many of them are dying. And so we have to race against time, trying to treat them so that we can elongate their lives. We can't stop death, but we can elongate the lives of the war survivors. So that's the medical mission that we do. We also have worked with rape victims, specifically focused on rape victims who were gang raped, gang sodomized, who some of them have fistula problems, some of them had, pestles, what we say in Sierra Leone, mata pencil or rods shoved into their genitalias, and as a result of that, they suffer from ruptured wombs, and the issues have been ongoing even though the war has ended. So we also have the educational scholarship or sponsorship, where we'll provide children of amputees with educational supplies, uniform allowance, right down to shoes, socks, you name it. To provide bursary for that and ship all of their school bags, education materials from America, ship it to Sierra Leone for the beginning of the school year. Thank you for all the sponsors who have sponsored our children, the children of our beneficiaries, war orphans, and also children of war survivors, for them to be able to be equipped for the school year. We also have the supplementary school that we have. We started that in in 2021, so that has been running for 2 years, providing the children with supplementary education. We also have a project now where on Saturdays, we're now adding a second Saturday in the month where we hire buses that go and pick up the children from different camps, from Grafton to Juwe, Hastings, Rokel, Waterloo 55, Waterloo, Bengiuma, and take them to our, center, a library, an education center at Newton, and the children are provided supplementary education. We also have a church that it's been a year, it's turned a year in February. We do not believe in providing war survivors with just material, you know, subventions. We believe in providing them the opportunity to have eternal life, and so we have a church where they go and they are strengthened. We have not only a church in Freetown, but we also have fellowships in different parts of the country, like, for example, Bow. We have two fellowships at McKinney, Kamakue, Karina District, Maborka, and Bumbuna. We have fellowships where every Sunday the war survivors assemble and just have fellowship and pray, read the Bible, and pray for change. Because as much as we're doing our bit, they also have to cry unto God for God to be able to bring help, not only through Melqosh, but help in other, organizations coming on board. What have I left out? The seven. Okay, and then we have the food aid project, which we started off um, during Ebola, because we found out that there was a lot of starvation happening because people were not touching, and the amputees beg by getting food, beg to eat. And so they have to make contact. And then Ebola came and they were, on lockdown and so many other things. And we found out that it wasn't COVID that the amputees and the war wounded and the war victims, the war amputees and the war wounded, it wasn't necessarily Ebola that was the biggest threat. The biggest threat was starvation. So we started providing a bag of rice per household. We were very precise in making sure that we do not join the plethora of other charities that give maybe 10 cup bag of rice, tie up, because that's not sustainable for the project. We don't want people to just hit one day. Whilst maybe that may be what other charities are doing, and it still helps in every way, we wanted to go the extra mile by making sure that the amputees get a full bag of rice that will last them for a whole month. We did that during Ebola, several rice distributions. We did that. Okay, I would, before going to the next stage, we also shipped personal protections, personal protective equipment, and we were one of the first organizations in the UK to have sent these shipment or these equipments to Sierra Leone. And as a result of that, none of our beneficiaries contacted Ebola because we were very precise in what we were doing. And then COVID came, and we had to go back because we'd already had experience of what was happening with in the time of Ebola. We knew also that we had to not only sensitize war survivors, which had helped greatly, but also we made sure that we provided rice, bag of rice during the lockdown, and for the first time in the history of Melqosh Mission in 2020, we were able to do a nationwide rice distribution. We provided a bag of rice per amputee household or war affected household for 753 homes. So 753 bags were provided in every town, in every city, in every village, in every district. We went there, to the war orphans, to the war widows, to the war rape victims, to the war wounded, and to the war amputees. And we have replicated that over the years since COVID, um, right up to last year, November, December, January this year. We provided 456, yeah, approximately, oh, I've just lost, I think 473 or 486 bags of rice to 483 war affected households. And we did that also last year when we were marking the 25th anniversary of the invasion of Freetown, and we started going camp by camp. But at the time last year, early last year, between April and June, when we were doing the national rice project distribution, we didn't have enough funds, so we were only able to do 17 towns out of 21 towns that we work with. And so we have that project. So we have the university scholarship, we have the educational sponsorship project, we have the library and the educational center running, we have the church and the fellowships running in different parts of the country, we have the medical mission, and we have the national or the nationwide food aid projects that we do. And then intermittently, we also provide wheelchairs and, crutches to war survivors. And, it has been one of the most, doing this work, in doing this, I'm not only fulfilling destiny, I'm able to go to bed knowing that even if, I know I'm not going now, but if the Lord takes me today, I have fulfilled my calling. I fulfilled my destiny. The people that we help, unfortunately, I don't know why, but government after government after government have closed their, you know, eyes to these people. And I am hoping that one day, before it is too late, Sierra Leone will fulfill the Truth and Reconciliation recommendation that was provided right after the war, not only by the UN, but that we would also, fulfill the Human Rights Treaty to provide these war survivors, with a life of dignity. Every country that has experienced war takes care of their war victims. Sierra Leone has been an exception. I do hope we will change this narrative very, very soon. I used to do a lot of advocacy, but my eyes are peeled on my focus is on doing the work. And it has been my greatest joy to do this work. I feel blessed. It's a privilege to serve God through mankind. Not going to doing the posh charity work. Sometimes, get into places where you have to hold your breath because of the stench of the surroundings, go into deep, poor communities, the sweat. Sometimes I'm working till I am almost collapsing, going to places where, we've had car puncture, going to places where you have ants and I can't get out of the vehicle. Oh my God, the testimonies, in doing this work. But it has been such a beautiful journey. 15 years. Who would have thought that when I was going to Sierra Leone and I thought it was going to be a small project, who knew that one day it will grow into such a big, huge project? And so, it has been such a blessing serving humanity. It's been such a blessing having a team and people work together with me, because I do not do this. I may be the goer, but you are the senders. So it's been a beautiful thing, us being able to fulfill God's purpose in our lives by not only just taking care of our families, our immediate families, but also, lending to the poor. The scripture tells us that whoever lendeth to the poor, whoever giveth to the poor lendeth unto God. And I tell you, Our reward is here on earth and in heaven. So I just want to thank every one of you. I may not be able to share all the testimonies, all the success stories, just too much. But you could join, find us on Facebook. We are Melqosh Mission. We also have a business page, which is Melqosh Mission International. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us, of course, on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. Join the band wagon of change making. I promise you, your life will never remain the same if you have been helping. I want to thank you and encourage you to not give up on what we're doing. Let's continue making ripples of change. One day, our names will be recorded in the annals of change. We are writing our Bibles right here. One day, our names will be recorded that there was a small group or a large or medium scale group of people who came together and said, no, we would not close our eyes to the war survivors. We would help them. Thank you so much. I do hope you're enjoying this recording. I do hope you're enjoying the plethora of entertainment, all the different things we've put together. I do hope that this celebration is energizing you to greater purpose. Thank you so much for listening. Continue watching. God bless you. Thank you.